Once I work through all of these and figure out what I'm supposed to do, then I need to find out which one is not true. So here I'm multiplying by 3 and multiplying by 3 again. Here I'm multiplying by 6 because the radius is half a diameter and I need to multiply by 2 and by 3, which is technically multiplying by 6. What is 2.6 times 3?
7.8.
What is 7 times 3? What is 2/5 times 6?
That would be
No.
10 out of 20.
No. How do you multiply fractions? We just did this in probability. 12 over 5. Thank you. How many times does 5 go into 12? Twice. How many are left over? 2/5. What is that as a decimal? Good. 2.4. That's the kind of mental math you need to be able to know how to do. 4 times 6. Now that I have these approximated circumferences, what do I need to do? Hand. Yes. See if it's over or under. And I need it to be what? I need my circled ones to be under. Because I need them to be a little bit smaller. Or the exact answer to be a little bit more. Is this under 8.164?
Yes.
Yes. Is this under 19.5? No. Is this under 2.51?
Yes.
Is this under 25.12?
Yes.
So, now do I understand why B is my answer aside from somebody shouting it out at me?
Yes.
Okay, next. Kane, almost called him Kanye, uses a freeze beam for tournaments. What did they give me?
The radius.
The radius. They didn't give me a circumference yet because I haven't read that far. So then what's my diameter?
5.
How'd you get it? Times 2. Stay focused. Mouse should not be moving. If Kane's frisbee has an approximate circumference, now they've given me a circumference. This needs to be circled, underlined, boxed, highlighted, something. C equals 15.7. Where should I be looking right now to understand? Oh, I really don't even need to look at my multiples of pi because I can just figure out how they got it. Which of the following equations best represents or best describes pi? Okay, go back to your ratios that you just wrote. What am I looking for? Pi. I've got 2 ways to write it. C over diameter or C over 2 pi. So let's come over here and write it. C over diameter equals pi, or C over 2r equals pi. Now what do I need to do?
Find the equation.
Before I find it, I can't rely on these answers, ladies and gentlemen. What must I do myself? I need to set it up. I need to make my own answer. Then verify if these are correct. Don't rely on the multiple choices that they give you. Rely on your brain. If you do what Ms. Starling shows you, then you should do it correctly every time. You have to remember that. So, the first one, what is C? So I'm going to rewrite it. 15.7 over D. What is D? 5. This is one option. Or, what is C? 15.7 over what? 2?
2.5.
2 times 2.5. They're saying the same thing. All we did here was multiply 2 by 2.5. Which answer matches now? Find your answer that matches what you wrote. don't match what they have, 9 times out of 10, it will more than likely be wrong because these are designed to be misleading. Number 3, if the diameter of a circle is 3/8 of an inch, what have they given me?
Diameter, which means
Diameter equals 3/8. Which expression best describes the circumference in inches? What do I need? The circumference, how do I find it? Diameter times pi, multiply by pi. I hear you over here. So, circumference equals what? Don't look at the answers. What is my diameter? I don't want to say the words anymore. I want to say numbers. 3/8 times what? Pi. Or pi times 3/8. The order doesn't matter when you're multiplying. Find your answer. Is it C?
yes.
Is it C?
No.
What did they write here that I didn't write? A 2.
2 times 3x is 8. Pi.
Is it D?
No.
Why?
It's not divided.
It's going to divide and then it's going to find a radius, and I still need to multiply backwards by 2. Your answer should be obvious. 4.
Wait, go back to that thing.
Four. One approximation for the value of pi is 3.14. That means it's rounded. That is what we associate it with when we're using this in 7th grade math. If the circumference of a round swimming pool is approximately 44 feet, which statement is true? I have circumference, and that's 44. And then I have pi, which is 3.14. But what have I been doing with pi?
Making it to a 3.
I've been rounding it to a 3. And I have been multiplying. Those of you who said multiply were not incorrect. So,
isn't that actually
what should I do here? Because normally when I multiply it by 3, I have a what?
a decimal?
Not a decimal.
It's a
What number do I have to multiply by 3 to get circumference?
diameter.
My diameter. I don't know what my diameter is. So instead of multiplying by 3, what am I going to do here? Divide. What is 44 divided by 3? Again, I am not relying on any of my answers. What is 44 divided by 3? How do I do this?
Long division.
Long division. Who in, who out? Top in, bottom out. I don't know where you got 12 from, but
What? It's not 12?
No, I'm saying somebody said divide 12. Or put 12 in, 12 out. No. 3 into 44.
1.
Both 3 into 44. 14. 14 times 3. 40. No. 42. 1, 0, 3 into 10. Okay, what is 14.3? The diameter. So come up here and write 14.3-ish.
Wait, go back to yours.
I didn't move it out of sight. Now look at your answers. Do you see 14?
Yes.
How many times?
2.
Which one is the correct one? Why?
Because it has the diameter.
Because it's the diameter. If I wanted my radius would be about what? Come on, think fast. About 7. Good. Okay. Number 5. The radius of a round canister is 2.5 inches. Okay, that was just like this frisbee over here. R equals 2.5. Stay focused. Its circumference is about 15.708 or 15 and 708 thousandths. By what value is the circumference of the canister divided to approximate pi? So I want pi. Go back to your ratio. How do I get pi with what I've been given? I've been given a C and an R. Which one of these tells me about pi and C and R? C divided by 2R.
So 2 times, so the diameter is
So pi is equal to 15 point what? 708 all divided by 2.5 times what? 2. What's 2.5 times 2? 5. And what's 15 point, or what can we round 15 to? Wait, hold on. By what value is the circumference of the canister divided to approximate pi? Oh, what did we just change it to? To 5. I was doing a little bit more work than I needed to. So what's my answer? 5. I need 2 radii.
how much are we doing after this?
As much as possible, especially on the back.
How much
Okay, a park has, I don't know, about 12 minutes. A park has 2 circular fountains. We don't have time to talk just because I'm moving on to the next question. Don't lose focus. The larger fountain has a diameter of 10 feet and a circumference of approximately 31.4 feet. The smaller fountain has a radius of 5 feet, or 2.5 feet, and a circumference of about 15.7 feet, which correctly represents the ratio. Is that correct?
Yeah, because it's part time.
That's too early. Oh, we get out at 41, which is then, okay, let me knock this question out real quick. Which represents the ratio of the circumference to the diameter for the 2 fountains? Okay. What's the circumference for one fountain?
31.4.
Okay, so is that the large one or the small one? Large and small. C is what? 31.4? D is what? 10. For the small one, the circumference is what? And the diameter is what? Trick question. No.
There's no
5. Good. It is a trick question because they didn't give it to me. I got to figure it out. What is the radius? 2.5. What's the radius over here? What's the relationship between the 2 fountains? Another trick question.
one's 2 centimeters.
One is twice the size of the other. Okay? Now I want the circumference to the diameter. C over D. What's C over D here? Over 10. What's C over D here? When I simplify these two, what will I get? Another trick question. You should be able to do one of these in your head. You get what? Pi. 3.14. What do you get over here? Pi again. 3.14. Find an answer that has pi in it. Get ready to go.